Before the 2026 World Cup began, almost nobody was talking about Cape Verde. And honestly, why would they? Placed in a group with Spain, Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, they were expected to be one of the tournament's easiest opponents. Most predictions had them finishing near the bottom of the group, with little chance of reaching the knockout stage. But just 2 matches into the tournament, something unexpected has happened. Spain couldn't beat them. Uruguay couldn't beat them. And a nation of just over 500,000 people suddenly finds itself fighting for a place in the next round of the World Cup. So how is Cape Verde doing this? Is it simply a couple of fortunate results, or are we witnessing the rise of one of the tournament's biggest surprise packages? Today, we're taking a closer look at the team nobody expected to be here. To understand why Cape Verde has become one of the stories of this World Cup, we first need to look at what they've already achieved. Their tournament began against Spain, one of the favourites to win the competition. Few people gave Cape Verde much of a chance, but by the final whistle, they had earned a remarkable 0-0 draw. While Spain dominated possession, Cape Verde refused to break, and their goalkeeper produced a series of outstanding saves to keep the score level. Many fans saw the result as a surprise, but some dismissed it as a one-off. After all, bigger teams occasionally have bad days. Then came Uruguay. This time, Cape Verde didn't just defend, they fought back. In a thrilling 2-2 draw, they scored twice against one of the most respected teams in world football and showed they could compete going forward as well as at the back. After 2 matches, Cape Verde had taken points from both Spain and Uruguay, and suddenly, what looked impossible before the tournament no longer seemed so unrealistic. To understand why these results are so surprising, we need to understand who Cape Verde are. Officially known as Cabo Verde, the country is a small island nation located off the west coast of Africa. With a population of just over 500,000 people, it is smaller than many cities represented at this World Cup. Unlike football giants such as Spain, Brazil or Argentina, Cape Verde does not have a long history of success on the world's biggest stage. In fact, before 2026, they had never qualified for a FIFA World Cup. For decades, simply reaching the tournament seemed like an impossible dream. While the country has produced talented players and enjoyed some success in African football, it has rarely been mentioned alongside the sport's elite nations. That's why expectations were so low before this tournament began. When the draw placed them in a group with Spain and Uruguay, most people saw Cape Verde as outsiders. A team that might work hard, earn respect, but ultimately struggle against stronger opposition. Even many neutral fans knew very little about them. But that's often how football's greatest stories begin. And after their opening 2 matches, Cape Verde are proving that they didn't come to this World Cup just to participate. They came to compete. Cape Verde's World Cup story truly began against Spain. On paper, it looked like one of the most one-sided matches of the group stage. Spain arrived as one of the tournament favourites, packed with world-class talent and expected to take all 3 points without too much trouble. From the opening whistle, the match played out exactly as many had predicted. Spain dominated possession, controlled the tempo, and spent long periods camped inside the Cape Verde half. But while Spain had the ball, Cape Verde had something just as important: belief. Rather than panic, they stayed disciplined. Every player knew their role. The defenders threw themselves in front of shots, midfielders worked tirelessly to close down space, and whenever Spain found a way through, Cape Verde's goalkeeper was there to make another crucial save. Spain became frustrated. The longer the score remained level, the more confidence Cape Verde gained. What was supposed to be a routine victory for one of football's biggest nations was slowly turning into a battle. And when the final whistle finally arrived, the scoreboard read 0-0. For Spain, it felt like 2 points dropped. For Cape Verde, it felt like a statement to the rest of the world. But while many people celebrated the result, others remained skeptical. Maybe Spain had played below their usual level. Maybe Cape Verde had just enjoyed one of those lucky nights that occasionally happen in football. A few days later, they would get their answer. If the draw against Spain caught people's attention, the match against Uruguay demanded it. Unlike Spain, Uruguay came into the game knowing exactly what Cape Verde had already done. There would be no underestimating them, no surprises. And yet, Cape Verde once again refused to play like a team happy just to be at the World Cup. From the opening stages, they looked confident. They pressed when opportunities appeared, attacked with purpose, and showed far more ambition than many expected. This wasn't a team trying to survive. This was a team trying to compete. Then came the breakthrough. Cape Verde found the back of the net, and suddenly, one of South America's football giants was chasing the game. Uruguay responded like great teams often do. They fought back, raised the intensity, and eventually found their equaliser. For a moment, it looked as though experience and quality would finally take control. But Cape Verde refused to disappear. Instead of sitting back and protecting the draw, they continued to attack whenever the opportunity appeared. Their belief was growing with every minute, and before long, they had found the net once again. At that point, the entire football world was paying attention. Spain might have been a surprise, but scoring twice against Uruguay was something completely different. Even when Uruguay pushed forward in the closing stages, Cape Verde continued to defend with incredible determination. Once again, their goalkeeper came up with important saves, and once again, the entire team fought for every ball. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard showed 2-2. Suddenly, nobody was talking about luck anymore, because lucky teams don't do it twice. And that's when people started asking a different question. Not whether Cape Verde belonged at this World Cup, but why were they proving so difficult to beat?